Welcome to Grounded with John Tester and Maritza Giorgio. We were supposed to have a few days off. We were going to do a live episode with the Sharon McMahon on Wednesday. That's still happening. But over the weekend, this video was inundating my social media feeds of this country star, up and coming country star, I'll say, going viral, not only for one of his songs, but this video that he made in response to the criticisms, the reactions to the haters. And so I reached out, and country singer Bryan Andrews said, yes, let's do it. But here's the warning. Right now, if you do not like the F word, this is not the episode for you.
Well, yeah, but he kinda used it tastefully. I mean, he just didn't drop it without there was a reason when he dropped it most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair. But
yeah.
so we have had a few people write in about your cussing.
Well, shit. What am I supposed to do?
You gotta be yourself. But I
Da
just
damn it.
for those
I mean,
for those people who really don't like the swearing, I'm just gonna tell you, I hate to tell you to turn it off, but this is not going to be your episode. But it's
yeah,
it's
probably not the one. It
it's a
actually made me look like I wasn't a swearer, so that's how bad. But that's
yeah, you
okay.
looked pretty clean
But
next to
but the
him.
truth is that the singer passionate, man, really passionate. And I get it, people don't like people cussing and stuff, but he was pretty passionate. I think that's what taught
Well,
him to do it.
here's the deal. He is 29. He's
Yeah,
from rural Missouri.
yeah,
And he's a country singer, formerly a welder, but then, he grew up in music, and his parents were music teachers. And
yeah,
so he grew up kind of defying the politics around him, and he's an anomaly, and I really appreciated hearing his voice. And I'm just going to throw this out there. We said this earlier, but I asked, after all of this viral attention, what his dream would be, like what would be his big moment of, oh my gosh, and he said to be on Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel. So Stephen and Jimmy, if you're listening, you gotta get Bryan Andrews on your show. It's
damn.
entertaining.
And I guarantee you they're probably watching right now.
I yeah, I mean, they watch all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Okay, so we wanna do some headlines. Let's talk about first No Kings rally over the weekend. Estimates anywhere between 5 and 8 million people who took to the streets, protesting for the No Kings movement, this Saturday. Like, the videos of these masses of people in our big cities, and then we had, police departments from places like New York, DC, saying, "No protest-related arrests." Meanwhile, though, while all that was happening, the president shared this AI video of him in a fighter jet, basically flying over these cities and dropping human waste on protesters. This is AI, of course. And then Gavin Newsom clapped back like he does and he put his own AI video up of him dropping human waste on January 6th rioters. Meanwhile, the president is still saying these protesters are paid, and he called the demonstrations small and ineffective.
I saw the videos. People people went out and made their voices heard when they could have been doing something else that would have been far more fun, like fishing or eating brunch or whatever. And they chose to go out and get the attention of the elected officials out there, because quite frankly, they're not out in public at all. The Republicans have not been doing any sort of in public stuff, though. A couple of them have, but man, they get their butts handed to them. Notice I said butts, not asses. Butts handed to them, and
But you did on the second round.
well, I had to tell them what I was really saying. So
Okay,
yeah, I could have
great.
spelled it, I guess. But the bottom line is that these guys weren't paid. They were your neighbors, my neighbors. They were folks that are concerned about the direction of the country, and I think rather than dumping shit on them, which I said it too, and implying that they're full of shit. I don't know what all that implies. I mean, I don't know. But it's kind of stupid.
Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't
they ought to
it
be paying attention to things that people are concerned about, like using our military against our people, like arresting U.S. citizens, like putting tariffs on when Congress should be the ones that are doing that, but Congress is AWOL. We don't need to get into that again. But I mean, there's all sorts of things out there that people are very upset about. People in brown shirts running around with no markings on them and wearing masks. Tackling people. I mean, all that stuff is a bunch of crap.
It doesn't so I think it was Chuck Todd I saw making the comment about how it really doesn't show that the president, sees himself as
Understood.
president of everybody, just
No,
his base.
that's right.
And, it's an interesting take to put those videos out. Meanwhile, you talk about brown shirts, the appeals court just today is saying that, the president can deploy the National Guard to Portland. That's a new headline. Also new today, the demolition has started on the White House for the ballroom, the demolition
For the
of the
Golden
East Wing.
Ballroom, so in the Golden Ballroom that the people are funding based off the tax break they got off the big beautiful deal. It's very nice. No, it's a bunch of crap. That's another thing people were protesting about. I mean, that's what kings do, by the way. They build golden ballrooms, and so people can bow down to them and kiss the ring.
How's your golden ballroom coming?
It's I can't find any paint. Okay,
Oh, well, yeah, it's all being purchased in DC.
that's
Okay.
right.
Um, House Speaker Mike Johnson
Yes,
canceled votes again for this week. So that means 28 days out of session. And it also means that he will not be swearing in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva this week again.
yeah.
Um, th-
It's speechless. You're speechless. That doesn't happen very often, Risa. Well, I mean, look. Some could argue, what difference does it make whether they're there or not? They're not doing anything while they're there, other than doing the president's bidding. They're not holding anybody accountable. They're not doing hearings. They're not. They're not. They're not doing their jobs that Article One of the Constitution says they're supposed to do. So, but the bottom line is that I watch these guys on TV, and every third word is Schumer. And bottom line is that they know who runs the House, they know who runs the Senate, and they know who's in the presidency. And I will tell you, as I've said before, this shutdown will be over when Donald Trump says it's over, and then they'll jump and ask him how high they want him to jump, and then they'll go get a deal, and it'll be over. It's a
um,
waste of taxpayer dollars, a waste of time. It makes our enemies stronger. It's not good for the country.
is Christine there?
Yes, you.
He's at his daughter's house. I had to say hi. Hi, Christine.
She's on the phone. She never quits working.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah.
good. Like you. All right. So there's a story in 60 Minutes. I kind of talked about it earlier a little bit in our previous attempt at this. But last night on 60 Minutes, we heard for the first time from this DOJ whistleblower who was fired. And he says he was fired for refusing to lie in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case. So, a reminder, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man who was admittedly mistakenly deported to El Salvador. And after that happened, your friend, Senator Chris Van Hollen, tried to get him home. He went down and visited him. The president said he had MS-13 gang tattoos. They even did some photoshopping to try to make it look that way. And so this lawyer who was fired from the DOJ, he's a guy who worked for Trump 1.0. He worked on an immigration policy in the first term. He defended the Muslim travel ban. And he says that this March, he learned that the president would be invoking the Alien Enemies Act to basically rapidly deport people, specifically more than 100 Venezuelans. And so there was kind of this directive that these planes with these Venezuelans needed to take off no matter what. And when somebody said, well, what if there's a court order preventing that? Then Emile Beauvais basically said, number 3 at the DOJ said, well, you may have to consider telling that court F you. So when a judge asked if those planes were leaving over a weekend, the attorney said, I don't know. And this whistleblower says, yes, they absolutely knew because they talked about it. And after they learned about the mistaken deportation to El Salvador, the whistleblower said that he was told to argue that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an MS-13 gang member and is a terrorist. And he said no. And he said, he quote, "I respond up the chain of command, no way. That is not correct. That is not factually correct. It is not legally correct. That is a lie. I cannot sign my name to that brief." And he said, here's the deal. What's to stop them if they decide they don't like you anymore? To say, you're part of MS-13. This story was eye-opening, and bravo to 60 Minutes for getting it out there, but I think it's alarming, and I can't believe we are not hearing more about it today.
Yeah, I didn't hear much because I was in a pickup all day long, but the truth is that, it also speaks to the moral character of the individual that was fired, and I think we've seen a lot of that stuff. The people who have character, the people who have values, morals, they're being shown the door, and they've been replaced by people, uh, who are not only loyal, but have fealty to Trump, as, one John Bolton has said, um, and God bless John. But the bottom line is that, this is not what honest people do. And whenever you have this kind of dishonesty in public service, it makes all people in public service look bad.
Well, and what's scary is that this is from the Department of Justice,
Oh, I know.
people in charge of,
Yeah.
due process.
Yeah, people lawyers who, know damn well that they're perjuring themselves.
Yeah, I hope that we see more about this. There are certainly a lot of headlines that, consume us, and that's we know that that's part of the strategy here. But this stopped me in my tracks when I saw this last night. We do
Yeah,
have
well, be careful. I mean, be careful. They might catch you for having a hangnail or something, you know?
no,
I
that's you.
I got a bunch of them. You know, it's yeah, so
No, we don't need to see that. Okay, Susan and one other person earlier on what they want to talk about the White House demolition. How can Trump demolish the East Wing of the White House? Isn't this a historic building? Hi, Christine. Hey, Christine. We have a cameo. Christine Tester in the house.
Hi.
yeah, yeah.
We're live.
That's it. We're live. We're live, Christine. Yeah. It's
So,
all
what do you
well,
think?
look,
The
I don't
historic building.
understand if we had a Congress that was working, Congress would stand up and say, "This is bullshit. You can't do that." But remember, the Supreme Court found President Trump above the law, so I guess as President of the United States, he can tear down anything he wants. Good luck Washington Monument, good luck Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial. I mean, look, he's tearing down part of the White House so he can have a goddamn golden ballroom. I mean, this really is beyond the pale for ridiculous.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's a good question. I don't know about the historic registry laws, but
Well, I guarantee you she's right. She's 100% right.
the deal is, though, you're right too, in that the Supreme Court gave him immunity.
Yeah, that's right. So he
So,
can do stupid stuff and get away with it, I guess. But you
um,
can't, you know? The attorney general said during a Senate hearing that nobody's above the law. Boy, was she wrong on that one.
well, yeah, we don't show anyone that hangnail again. That's for sure.
I know.
Uh, Quickly, the Coast Guard planning to buy 2 private jets to be used by DHS Secretary Kristi Noem.
You gotta
Cost of
fly in class, man. You gotta fly in class. It's really important that you're flying in a new, what, Citation or Learjet, whatever the hell they call those jets, because, you
Gulfstream
gotta you're
private jet.
yeah, special Gulfstream, yeah. You're a special person, you need to be treated different than the people who you serve, and so, that plane that was 15 years old, that just doesn't cut it, so let's spend some taxpayer dollars on something that's really important, having a plane that you can fly around all over the world in
Two.
and not have to worry. 2 of them. Well, you never know which one might need an oil change or something.
So the Washington Post obtained a document that said this is going to cost $200 million for the use
Yeah.
of 2 planes.
Yeah, what the
Um,
hell? Look, we gave Argentina the president gave Argentina 20 billion, so 200 million is chump change. I mean, it's chump
that's
change. And
true.
by the way, we're concerned about the debt, and we're concerned about spending money on fraud and making sure that money is spent correctly. This is total crap. I'm telling you, total crap. And
All
it's
right, you're
why
not
people were protesting, by the way, on Saturday. People know this is crap. The only people that don't are part of the cult. So, hey, it's crazy.
you're not gonna like this next story. We already kinda talked about it in our conversation with Brian, but Trump President Trump floated this new plan to buy beef from Argentina. He says it's to bring down prices for Americans. Lots of reasons for the price increases, of course. We're seeing prices up more than 16% on some cuts of beef. And the U.S. Cattlemen's Association says, hey, there's no quick fix to this. And and they pointed to rising input costs, drought, market shifts, all for reasons. And then they said you can't just do something to have a quick fix on these prices. Of course, I don't have to tell you this comes after the $20 billion bailout you just mentioned, and then opening that market up for China to start buying more soybeans from Argentina over the United States. So
Give an A for consistency. He screwed up the wheat markets. He screwed up the soy markets. He screwed up the corn market. The only market that's out there that you can make a little bit of money on, I'm not saying a lot, a little, is beef. And whether NCBA or whoever it was you quoted is right or not, it will
U.S.
do one thing.
cattlemen's.
It will do one thing, I guarantee. I don't think it's going to do a damn thing for the prices on the meat counter, but it'll drive the prices down at the farm gate. So once again, um, are we going to bail these guys out too? Because we're going to bail out the farmers, I guess. It won't be enough, but they'll do it. Instead of getting our checks from the marketplace, the folks who are anti-socialism are doing things that are very socialist. You want me to say it? Do you want me to say any more?
Nope, nope. I
And
do.
besides that, we won't talk about foot and mouth disease. We won't talk about any of the other shit that could come in from other countries that we don't have.
Well, that's also part of this. Part of the prices, right? Is these diseases and the problem we're seeing there. I mean, we saw it with what bird flu and these are like it's bad stuff. Okay, so we are going to get to our conversation with country music star Bryan Andrews.
Do you have a title yet? Do you have a title? I got a title for it.
What is it?
Pickin and Grinnin, man.
Well, the title of his video that went so viral was "Crash Out."
Yeah, but it's picking,
Because
the crash out. I mean, that is, I mean, I hope, I got it. It's good. I like it, but Pickin and Grinnin's better.
Pickin' and Grinnin', I like it. So we are going to pivot right now. We want to welcome to Grounded Bryan Andrews,
Hey,
rising country star, 3.4 million followers on TikTok. Holy cow. Thanks for being with us, Bryan.
yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super pumped.
I was just saying that I think if anybody can match you as far as personality and swear words, I think former
No,
Senator John Tester is the man for the job.
Yeah.
I hardly ever swear. I'm a sweet, tender guy. Uh,
Yeah.
but I just want you to know we left Montana, Brian, yesterday at uh, about we've been at 9 a.m. And I've been listening to Willie's Roadhouse the whole damn way and driving my son crazy,
Yeah, dude, I
and
love it.
and I just heard my favorite song, George Jones, the Corvette song. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah, Sean is probably in misery right now. So,
yeah,
Brian, let's
I,
talk about this. Like, I don't know where to start here, but you are everywhere on social media right now.
Yeah.
And there's a video that was posted October 9th called Crash Out. It has
Mhm.
7 million views on Instagram, PS.
Yeah.
And then the very next day you released a song called The Older I Get. So what do you want to hit first? What do you want to chat about first?
Hey, I'm down to chat about anything. It doesn't really matter to me. I think that video speaks for itself as far as where I stand with everything that I tend to believe in. But I'm always
Give us the gist for people who haven't seen your video yet, who might be watching or listening and they don't know about this video. Give us the gist, and this is unfiltered.
yeah. I think most of it just stems from like the place that I was in when I wrote this song in the first place, and it was just the sudden realization that America isn't quite as what I thought it would be when I was a kid, you know, and like we were promised. And I think it probably is because, you know, when I was a kid, it was so like post 9/11 and everybody was really on the same page and stuff like that. And then as time went on, we just grew further and further apart and we see this divide that we're seeing now. And it just made me think of all the things that were going on around me, especially in the last 9 months that I wholeheartedly disagree with. And I just don't think that this is the dream we were promised, any of us. And like for me, when I started writing that song and I said some of the things that I said in it, I knew that as a straight white male, I wasn't on the receiving end of most of that rhetoric most of the time. And it still pissed me off and it still made me feel the way I felt. So for me to be able to write that song and put it out, at first, I think I was pretty nervous, but, you know, as soon as I put it out and started seeing the reaction, it was, an extremely validating feeling because I know that I'm not alone.
So let me read some of the lyrics of this song. Released just 10 days ago, by the way. I
Yeah.
mean, for some, like, I'm not, I don't mean to offend you, but you're
No.
not Taylor Swift.
No, yeah.
So for this song to be getting this much media attention 10 days in is pretty big. So let's
Yeah.
talk about the song. I'm going to say, raise your right hand, plead the fifth, trying to cover up names on a list, lie and say it doesn't exist. What the fuck kind of place am I in? And then you go on to say, heaven help you if you've got brown skin, watch them starve on the Gaza Strip. So I mean, not really hiding much. There's not a lot to read
No.
into there or interpret. So tell me, like, that you cover a lot too, a lot of the
Yeah.
things that people are talking about. Like, what was it about those things that made you say, "I gotta write about this"?
Yeah, so actually I ended up I had that song fully or almost fully wrote out when I just didn't have the chorus and when I went out to Los Angeles to write, and I was, in a writing session with a couple guys named, Alex Borrell and Colin Foote, and they ended up producing the song as well, and we finished it up, and then when I came back to Missouri, it was right I came back, and then, like, the day after I got home, I read I got on TikTok and I started seeing the DOJ said that the Epstein list doesn't exist. And so it started like festering in me. It's almost like the same way I make content, you know? And like I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you've got to be shitting me right now. You know what I mean? Like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, you just said it was on your desk. And so when I started thinking about that more and more, and then I started seeing that, you know, they want to, or in the big beautiful bill, they had all this budget cuts to Medicaid and everything, but then exploded the budget for ICE. And I was
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are we doing?
yeah,
So it just started festering in me and festering in me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then you see I mean, I'm not the only one who sees these headlines. You know what I mean? It's 2025. We all got a damn cell phone. And so when I start seeing these videos just one after another and you look into it and you start seeing all the things that are going on right now, it was hard for me not to write about it. And so I was like, well, I need to write a bridge to this song. And so that's the part that we call the bridge. And I just sat there thinking about it and I was like, how can I make this as powerful as possible? And I started with the raise your right hand, plead the fifth, trying to cover up names on a list, lie and say that it doesn't exist. What the fuck kind of place am I in? And I knew that after that, I wanted to touch on points that everyday Americans were going through and seeing firsthand through a cell phone because you can't hide shit no more. Whether this administration thinks you can and wants to and thinks that they can lie to your fucking face, they can't. So when I started seeing all the things going on with ICE, and especially now, because we've been promoting this song for a month and a half, and the song's been written all the way for at least 2 months. So when I'm sitting here seeing the Department of Homeland Security making hype videos like it's a trailer to a video game, that shit makes me irate. When you're seeing American citizens, we see the stories of there's what, over 120 American citizens that have been arrested by ICE. I watched the video, and granted, it was on CNN, and I know the right wingers are going to come for me for watching CNN. But how can you deny watching a damn video of a group of ICE agents in a vehicle running down an American citizen in a car? and T-bone him in the middle of the street. How are we watching this and not saying, what the fuck is going on? So, I mean, in that second part of that verse, when I said work 2 jobs, try to make rent, me as an American, nobody can afford a house right now. Young people literally cannot afford to buy a home, but they can somehow afford $2,000 a month in rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in a city that's not even that big. And then heaven help you if you think you get, or if you're born with brown skin. That was touching on the ICE stuff, because I'm telling you, it's not stopping with them either. And that's what I'm saying. It's coming to everybody. As soon as they figure out that they can get away with no due process, they will come for whoever the fuck they want.
Yep. 100% correct.
So when I see stuff like that, and then you see and I love that President Trump started a peace deal that is now falling the fuck apart. But at when the song released, he signed that peace deal, and I was like, great, that's awesome. And then you see now Israel just blocked humanitarian aid to go into Gaza again.
Yeah.
We're watching people starving. 70 to 80% of the Gaza Strip is in fucking rocks right now.
Yeah. So before I get to my question real quick, or one of my many, I got some ideas for your next song. You can talk about how rural hospitals are going to be closing up because of lack of support. You can talk about how these tariffs are screwing
Farmers.
farmers right and left. And you can talk about how I think it was yesterday, the president said he was going to start importing Argentinian beef. So the only profitable making thing in agriculture is beef right now.
Yep.
And it's barely profitable, but it won't be profitable either. So you can write that. All that shit's for your next song, okay? That's good stuff. Okay?
You have to credit John Tester as a writer on that.
You don't even need to credit me. I mean, I'll just go out and do it. So I want to ask you a little different twist on this, because you went off on religion pretty hard, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there on the right that says, everything Trump's doing, this is about religion. This is about second coming of God. This is about Trump being God, for God's sakes. So what pushed you over the edge there? Because there's a lot of hypocrisy right now in religion.
Well, I think I think what really set me off is living in a small town and seeing people that go to church every Sunday come out of church on Sunday afternoon, go eat lunch, and then hop on Facebook and get on a Fox News fucking article that was shared on Facebook and type some bullshit out that says like, oh, I like my country like I like my fucking tea. That's the shit that fucking pissed me off about Christians. Because as a Christian myself, who does not go to church because of what organized religion has done to my faith.
Yeah.
That's why I went in so hard on that, because you can't tell me, and in their own way, maybe they're Christian, maybe they think they're serving God the way they think they're supposed to, but it's more of a profession to them than it is a way of life.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off, because when people think of Christians, like I said, they'll think of them first. They'll think of the hate that they give. You hear it all the time. There ain't no hate like Christian love. I can't stand hearing that shit. It fucking pisses me off, but I am aware of the fact that people say it because of people like them.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to justify calling myself a Christian when I don't agree with anything they say. How can you be pro-life and then vote to support people who cut Medicaid and SNAP benefits?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, to quote my wife, if you're so concerned about the baby in the womb, you ought to be concerned about the baby after it comes out of the womb.
That ain't no shit right there. They ain't pro-life. They're pro-birth.
Yeah, there you go, baby. So, look, you're a smart dude. You're writing songs, you're singing music. I got a degree in music, by the way. I didn't tell you that. So,
that's awesome, dude.
But so you're a smart cat. I mean, you are. I mean, you got skills. You had to know that when you did this, it was going to have potentially career-ending ramifications. Now, I don't think it has. It's probably helped your career.
Yeah, definitely.
More than it's hurt it. But did you think about that? Was there hesitancy on your part? Was there hesitancy on your part when you said, "Hey, do I just call shit as I see it, or do I be a hypocrite like everybody else?"
So I think for me, I had started being a lot more outspoken on social media leading up to this song, so I don't think that anybody that was already following me was all that surprised, but like, I didn't have a large listenership anyways. I mean, I just now hit or I'm about to hit 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, so it's not like I'm, yeah, it's not like I'm some huge rock star or anything like that,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah, I definitely
amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing. 300,000. That's amazing.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're looking to try to get 300,000 subscribers to crown you.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. But no, that's where like I definitely did have some hesitancy just because, like I'm from a small town and like I said before I had wrote that one part, the song is really not that like it's not calling out either side really up
Yeah,
until then. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, I hear you.
and
No,
so I was staying on the side of like maybe I shouldn't alienate anybody here, but then I saw it, it made me mad enough, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. Like, because here's the thing, when I really got to thinking about putting this song out, and even my label was like, well, we don't want you to alienate any of your audience, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Alienate people who already don't listen to my fucking music?
yeah,
And so like that for me, I was
Oh,
like, whatever. And so it was once I started really digging into it and was like, you know what, fuck it, dude, cuffs are off. So I'm gonna start saying how I really fucking feel. That's when it started going well, right when it released. And I was like, you know what? I'm saying something that I believe in. And my dad told me once before, because I said right before I was getting ready to put this song out or decided I was going to put it out, I almost didn't. And my dad said to me once, he was like, would you rather have no career at all because you were too afraid to say something and people just didn't like your music? Or would you have no career, or would you rather not have a career because you said something that people just weren't ready to hear? And I chose the latter. So,
so I've got to give you a marketing recommendation, Brian. So instead of calling it fucking music, call it geniusly stylistic music.
yeah, 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 exactly, dude.
Uh,
Exactly.
I
yeah,
gotta
just
ask so about that. So you write the song,
yeah,
Mhm.
and you have a healthy start of a big following, but you write the song, and tell me what happens next. Like, did you start getting what led between like the song lyrics and then the crash out video where you just let people have it and said, I don't regret a thing. I meant every word I said.
Well, I think, like I said, I was just fucking holding back. I mean, there was a few times that I had got pretty irate online and stuff like that, and I was trying to make it like I was trying to make it relatable to both sides, and I think that even the crash out, like if you're really look or listening to what I say, then I think even if you're on that right side or you're center right ish, you can look at that for what it is or whatever.
yeah,
But I think that for me, it was like, yeah, I'm not giving the content, and I'm not giving the song the voice it deserves.
But did people reach out to you? Like, did people start writing you hateful messages or
Oh,
saying,
all the time. Yeah, I'm still getting them today. Yeah.
I'm waiting because I saw that Bryan got some heat from the
Yeah.
Trump administration over some lyrics about ICE in one of his songs.
Mhm.
So, like, tell me what that is. What is it about? And I know I read a quote from you that said that you knew being a country artist, you get backlash for things, and you knew that you might even
If
choke your reach in the genre. But what is it about the genre? What is it about country music that people seem to associate with right wing politics?
So I think it's the direct correlation is that, um, it's speaking directly to rural America, and most people in rural America are at least right-leaning, if not very far right. I mean, I live in a small town, and the
yeah,
thing that I always say is I'll never forgive Trump for what he's done to people that I care about.
yeah. I mean, I think I agree with you. People in rural America are tilt to the right. Some of them tilt to the right a long ways, and most
Yeah.
of them listen to country music. But a lot of the artists are not right wing. I mean, they're not right wing at all. Now
No.
they ain't as out, they're not as outspoken as you, but I'll give you an example. Willie Nelson
Exactly.
did events for what was his name? Ran for Senate and ran
Yeah.
for president too for Texas. So I'm
Well,
that's kind of crazy.
yeah, I mean, in 2006, Willie Nelson released a digital song only, no physical copies to it, but it was a pretty big song called cowboys secretly are frequently fond of each other. And it's about cowboys in Texas who are sometimes gay, and that's okay.
That
Yeah,
I didn't know about that. So, like, have you always been political, though? Like, have you always because I gotta say, what are you? Are you 29?
Yes, actually.
That's incredible to me because you are, like your, demographic is one that I would really love to know more about because
Yeah, so
you have a
that
lot of power.
I say that stuff like I just posted a video this morning, right before I got on here that basically is explaining why I think the way I do. And it's not because, I went to college and got indoctrinated or lived in a city my whole life. I've lived in a town of 3,500 people since I was 8 years old in rural Missouri, and I still live here today. And I'm liberal and lean left, probably some because my parents are teachers, both music teachers, and they are left leaning. My grandfather worked for General Motors for 30 years in the union, and he was a Democrat. My great grandfather was a farmer. He was a staunch Democrat. But I think more than anything, I'm left leaning and liberal leaning because I do live in a small town and I see what's happening right now. And I see small town farmers getting fucked by this administration. I see single mothers who are working 40 hours a week and trying to raise their kids and still can't afford health insurance and have to work 2 jobs sometimes just to put food on the table because their food stamps just got cut.
yep,
So,
yep.
You're like, I think that John Tester might have a new favorite country music artist because you just talked well, first of all, the swear words, but second of all, you talked about farming and music teaching, like, that's a
Yeah,
yeah.
damn.
both parents are music teachers. That's a good bloodline, man. Then your
Yeah.
grandfather's a farmer, and your dad's a guy who built cars. I'm a metalhead, and I'm a farmer, and I
You
love
guys are gonna
music.
be best
So hey,
friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I mean, that's just how I've like I don't see how because I mean you look at farmers and most farmers used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
You know?
Did I tell you why that's changed?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Because
definitely
they forgot who kept them on the farm. And that's why your grandfather's generation were Democrats, because they knew without the policies of FDR, they would have been broke and gone off the farm, just like my grandparents. So,
yeah.
and they understood it. The problem is that my generation, thinks they had a triple when in fact they were born on third. And
Yeah.
so they forgot all that shit.
Yep.
Okay.
And I know like friends my age that are coming into, their family farms and stuff like that. Not even just friends, but people I know in the community that have came up to me since this song's been out or since I've started talking about this shit online and said like, dude, if we didn't have all our equipment paid off, we wouldn't make it this year. And
That's
that was
what,
and that's before beef
yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
this last weekend. So,
Yep. That,
they
that's right.
they were saying at least we got beef. And I just heard from one of them the other day, came up to me and said, "You know how I said we just got or at least we got beef? We ain't got it no more."
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that market will get screwed up pretty. It's screwed up bad enough with imports out of places like Brazil. You start pumping in a bunch of Argentinian beef, that market's over with. It's
See,
done.
that's what I'm saying. Our farmers are just like on the brink of bankruptcy right now. And before bailing them out, he bailed out the Argentinian government but to the tune of $20 billion. So China, instead of buying our farmers' crops,
Soybeans.
could
Yeah.
go buy soybeans from Argentina. And our
It,
farmers are sitting here going, "What the fuck?"
here's what amazes me. If Biden or Obama or Bush would have done the kind of stuff he's doing, or even Reagan would have done the stuff they're kind of doing, farmers would be on the streets of Washington D.C. with tractors and combines and trucks raising holy hell.
Yep, bingo.
And I got to tell you where I live. Now they're not going to talk to me because I served the Senate as a Democrat for 18 years. They know I think, they know how I think about the tariffs and all that bullshit. But you don't hear a peep from them. I mean,
No.
you're hearing more in Missouri than I do in Montana.
But that's the thing. They don't want to say it. They know, but they don't want
Yeah.
to say it. I hear it from very few people, but that's what I'm saying. Like these people and especially now, I think they're starting to wake up to it. They just won't say it publicly because they think if they admit that he's a bad person, they're admitting they're a bad person for
No, no,
supporting
no.
him.
Well, I mean that is not true. First of all, and second of all, everybody makes mistakes. It's the way it
Yes.
is. And third of all, if you say nothing and you go broke, it's kind of like the country music singer that either has guts enough to say how he feels, or he goes broke and not tells people how they feel.
Exactly,
So
and
it's
that's
the same thing. If you don't get out there and do what you got to do, and you go broke, what the hell have you accomplished?
I was
You
gonna
know,
say.
especially when it wasn't weather and it wasn't insects and it wasn't bad farming practices. It's bad frickin' policy from the federal government.
Yes, when it could have been a good year.
That's right.
So
And
Bryan, tell me, I know that you've had a lot of hate mail, but
yeah.
tell us about, like, something really awesome that's come of this. Like, have you had a moment where it was like,
Well,
"Oh my gosh."
yeah, I mean, I think
Talking to us, man.
Oh,
What do you think you're
yeah,
thinking about it,
exactly,
man?
getting on the grounded podcast. But no, I think that, like, overwhelmingly, it's been because I just believe love wins every time. So, in the end, in this particular situation, though, I think the scale has definitely tipped, at least for me, in the, good graces and love category, you know what I mean? And, like, good things coming my way. Sure, the far right may fucking hate me, but who gives a fuck? And for me, it was like when I started seeing all the love I was getting and started getting the DMs of people saying, "Thank you for using your voice for," like, I'm in Chicago right now. Thank you. Because, I mean, without people talking about it, nobody's going to give a shit.
And it's even bigger than that. Without people talking to people who normally don't hear it,
Yes.
nobody gives gonna give a shit. I
And
mean,
that,
Maurice and I talk all the time. It doesn't do no good. I mean,
yeah.
you gotta get outside your circle and country music, athletics, um,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of shit out there that's outside the circle. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, for sure. I knew if I said it, they would be more inclined to listen to someone who looks like them and talks like them than someone who doesn't. So that's another reason I was like, you know what? I had for me to be able to sleep at night, I have to be able to say this. So I mean, and like I said, overwhelmingly, especially like people in small towns, they're saying, like, sending me DMs and saying, "Dude, I'm from a small town and it sucks. Like, I'm a blue dot in a red state or whatever. And it sucks seeing so many of my friends and so many of these people vote against their own best interests, and seeing these people support things like this." And I'm like, yeah, I know, dude, but people are starting to wake up, and it's important that we keep talking to these people, because if we just let them sit in their own echo chamber, they're never going to change. They're never going to look at things for what they are.
so we have
Yeah.
so many people on our show who, we talk about the future of this country, how to reach young people, how to engage young people. You're 29, you have this voice, you have reach in places that John Tester and I do not. Sorry, Senator. He's very young and he's very youthful. We know that, but you have a reach that we don't have. So, what would you tell people to do right now to reach your generation and younger? To say, hey, get engaged somehow. Get engaged.
Yeah, I would say, how many times are you going to walk past the bodies and pretend they're not there? I would say, how many times can you go to sleep at night knowing that people are struggling right now and do have to face these problems while you don't have to even talk about it? How many times are you going to let it go and say, well, they're not coming for me right now? Are you going to wait till they come for you? Because if you wait till then, it'll be too late. That's what I would say.
Do you ever envision yourself running for office?
Um, I think when I think about it, because I had definitely, obviously, in the past, couple months, I've definitely thought about it, at least at the local level, or a state level maybe. But I think I'm here right now to be able to make music, because when I look back at times and stuff like that, there's always music for every period of time, especially protest music. Johnny Cash and The Man in Black or Folsom Prison Blues, songs like "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel. There's always been periods of time where you can look back and think of music that resonates with that specific time period. And so for me right now, I think that's my place in the world. Um, that may change as I get older, but at least for right now, I think music is one of the most powerful tools we will ever have. So, and
So,
I'll always believe that.
I agree with you. It's universal language, and it's
Yep.
absolutely And I'm going to tell you, the U.S. Senate could always use a guitar picker. They got a harmonica player,
What?
and what's that? Yeah, Kane. Kane's a harmonic player. You get a little guitar picking going in there, and I mean, I'm telling you, you could change the Senate. It might become functional again. For Christ's sake,
Yeah, God.
they actually might start working.
Oh,
That's
so Brian,
that's why
what would you consider like as you continue to go on this journey and ride this wave, because the wave off of this song and this video is not
Mhm.
over.
No, no.
What would be like an epic moment for you? What would be like a dream come true?
Probably just being able to talk about these issues on like a, and the song, on a very large scale, just so that way I feel like the song could get to as many people that need to hear it as possible. So that way some people can still feel some sense of hope, I think. So, for me, it's like definitely the late night circuit and shit like that. But, like, I think, like I said, for me, as
Like
long
any
as it's,
particular late night host?
oh, Kimmel and Colbert for sure. Like, I mean, Fallon's like just so apolitical. I don't think that he'd love me as a guest, anyways, because I'd be fucking ripping on there. But I mean, I've always been a huge Colbert fan. I know I'm gonna catch some heat for that from fucking people in my small town, but I don't really give a shit anymore. So,
So we're gonna see Brian on Colbert. I'm predicting it now.
yeah, that would be amazing. I just want people to be able to see someone who looks like me from these rural areas where people think that they're so hated, and know that there's people that exist that do look like us that don't hate them and that think the way they think, because they know that they have empathy in their hearts and they want people to be able to live, because we were not just put on this earth to pay bills and die. So I don't know. That's the way. That's why I think, dude. I just put that video I posted this morning. It's like, the whole premise of it, because somebody asked me about a week ago. They were like, "Dude, who radicalized you?" And I'm like, "You did. My small town did, dog." It's like I'm not a radical like you like to think I am. But if you're looking for an answer, you did. I'm tired of seeing people in small towns not being able to go to the fucking grocery store. I'm tired of people in small towns going home at night, flipping the fucking light switch on, and wondering if their fucking lights are going to come on because they haven't paid the light bill in 2-3 months. I'm so sick and tired of fucking seeing it. And I'm sick and fucking tired of seeing Republicans in office continuously vote to take those fucking things away and make it harder for people. It's the same thing when I think about like abortion and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, we need to get rid of abortion because it's, like against my religion," or whatever. Christian nationalists are all about that, right? But as soon as that kid's born, they want people to stop being lazy and get a job, or do something like, "Oh, pick yourself up by your bootstraps." I know it's tough. Did you ever think that maybe so many people wouldn't get abortions if it wasn't a financial fucking death sentence? 70,
100% correct.
70% of the women who get abortions in the United States are at or below the federal poverty line. And 30% of them are 100% below the federal poverty line.
You know what I like about
Yep.
Brian is he brings the receipts.
That's your ass.
He brings the receipts.
And what pisses me off the most about that is that this shit is a fucking Google away. It is not hard to fucking look up. So, and like, it fucking irates me when people are like, "Oh, dude, you're watching left-wing media too much." Oh, coming from the guy who fucking spends 90% of his day on Fox fucking News, who blatantly
Yeah.
fucking lies to you on a fucking daily basis? Seriously?
Yeah. But that's what they think the left wing's doing to everybody else,
Oh, I know.
instead of digging into the facts of the matter. I mean, it's why we can't have a conversation because, I bring this story up, but there was a kid that, that said, Trump's losing money in office. He's giving all his money away to charity and he's losing money.
Oh my God.
He's made more money in the president of the United States than all the other presidents combined. I mean, he's selling crypto coins.
Yeah.
But if
Some
you tell them that, they'll say, "Oh, that didn't happen. They made all that up."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why part of your frustration is the gap. And I agree with you. There's an incredible gap. There's far more that unites us than divides us. But when
Yes.
you've got a reality out there that's not true, and I'm going to tell you it's Fox News. Show me the fucking receipts behind Fox News's reports, and I'll change my mind. But it isn't. They don't. They make it up. They
Yep.
made it up when I was in the Senate. I'll give you an example. I was on TV. We were talking about Obamacare, and the interview was over with, and I heard the reporters in the background say he didn't read the bill. And I said to the cameraman sitting there in the rotunda, I said, "Put me back on, put me back on," and they wouldn't do it. They
Mhm.
just made shit up. I read that goddamn bill so many times I had it memorized. But that aside, that's the kind of shit they do. They just
Yes.
make shit up. And then people say, "Well, no, that's the gospel. It came, Fox News said it,
Yep, and that's it, dude. Somebody, like when I posted that crash out video, somebody sent me a DM that said, "You're anti-Christian. How can you continuously attack Christians like you did in that video, and then call yourself a Christian? Trump has done more for Christianity than any president ever." And I said,
Yeah,
are you?" I said, "You're telling me that coming from about a guy who has put his name and sold the fucking Bible?"
yeah, and also screwed a hooker while his wife was pregnant, which will give
Yeah.
most normal people shot. All
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
the truth is that, he does all this shit. That doesn't pay his bills, declares bankruptcy, leaves people out in a lurch. I mean, that's really Christian. Don't pay your fucking creditors.
Yeah.
That's it's unbelievable.
I
So,
I've had to watch these people say, "Oh, the left won't," or "The left is the violent party," or whatever, and
uh,
yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, "Okay, I condemn all political violence."
damn right.
I'll say it repeatedly that I condemn political
Yeah,
violence, and then I have to watch my vice president when a group chat gets leaked of the future leaders of the Republican Party talking about putting people in gas chambers and calling African Americans the watermelon people or whatever.
And the
yeah,
N-word. Yeah.
And yeah, and he doesn't say, and he said it's kids being kids or kids say dumb things.
yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's actually what he said was saying a dumb thing, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Senator, I need to be fair to Stormy Daniels, she was not a prostitute, she was an adult
Oh,
star.
I am sorry. I am. I stand corrected because
But we just
I do stand corrected. And by the way, there is a difference there. Except the truth of the matter is, if your wife's pregnant and you have so little respect for her that you're willing to go do a porn star, I mean, I think it speaks a lot to your morals and your moral character in your
Yeah.
upbringing.
Yes.
Right.
Daddy's money.
Yep.
That's what I can't I don't know how people in small towns support this dude. If they see somebody doing a 20 or a brand new Chevrolet, some kid, they'll be like, "Oh, daddy's money." But they watch Trump inherit every single thing he's ever fucking had and then bring it to its fucking knees and say, "Oh, he's a businessman." The
Yeah.
fuck? He's a con man.
Brian,
Well, I don't know how people in big town can support him either.
I
But
know
Yeah.
you grew up a little bit a couple years in Idaho. Have
Yeah.
you spent much time in Montana?
I actually have only been to Yellowstone like once, and it was when I was a kid, and I don't really remember it actually.
what part of Idaho?
Mountain Home. I was born in
Oh yeah.
Boise. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's
Oh,
not no nice.
that's where
Yeah.
the new,
Yeah, I
Katana
know.
base is.
Yeah, we've talked about me and my old man have talked about it, but, yeah, my folks are from or my dad's from my hometown that I live in now, and, my mom is from, like, an hour away from here, and they got met in college and got married and wanted to live in the mountains, so they moved out to Idaho and,
So you're gonna
just
come
been
to
out there.
Montana, though, and come visit me and Senator Tester, right?
Hey, I think that'd be great. I love to fly fish, so if you guys
Well,
wanna do that.
this is the spot for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the song is called "The Older I Get." I
Yep.
already looked, I know it's on Apple Music, and, where else can you find it?
Anywhere you listen to music, it's out everywhere. I think the best paying platform is Apple Music, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not. This song is far and away not about the money for me. So I mean, as long as it's getting out there and getting heard by people, that's the main goal.
Well, we thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see where your career goes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it big time.
Senator, any final?
Well, I just appreciate you taking the time, and I got a few music. I mean, are you a
Yeah.
solo act or you got a band?
I do have a band, but I'm it's just I'm just a solo artist. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Do you need
cool.
a trumpet player? Because Senator
Yeah.
Spencer plays a
I
mean trumpet.
Yeah, Marisa knows a really shitty trumpet player that could just make you look really good.
Hey man, I feel you. When I was in high school, I actually went to the University of Central Missouri for a music education degree for like 2 years before I dropped out, and I played euphonium. So, but I started on trumpet. So,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Good. All right, man. You all the best to you. Take care. Be well.
Hey,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Stay in
Thank you
touch
guys a
with
bunch
us
for having
too.
me. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You guys ever need anything, you just give me a call.
Hey, what is you I like this version of John Tester, the sleep deprived road warrior John Tester.
I
Tell me
got
about your hat.
this is
I can't see it.
I think this is the USS Billings, I believe.
Oh yeah, you've worn this before.
Before it was the USS Billings, it was LCS Littoral Combat Ship.
Yeah, I like it. I
Should
thought
have a
you had a
number.
hat you were going to show me. You told me you have a new hat. You're gonna wear it this
Well, I
week.
didn't want to wear it on the road. I didn't want to get it dirty.
Okay. All
Don't
right.
worry,
Well,
I've got one. You'll love it.
we will look forward to that. If anyone
Yep.
has any more questions, we're going to wrap this up, but you can put them in the chat here as we wrap it up. Okay, so again, we have Sharon McMahon on Wednesday morning, and then Heather Cox Richardson. You're like, what are you doing that face for? Is that a face like you
Yes.
can't make it?
Well, no, I'm hoping to. We're gonna peel out of here. Let's see, what time did we get here? It took us about 28 or 9 hours to get here, so we gotta do better going home.
You just drove through the night?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not safe.
No, it's safe. We're fine. 2
I
drivers.
bet it.
And then, like, if we're sleeping, we just pull over and sleep. But no,
All right. All right. Well, we have Sharon McMahon on Wednesday morning, so you better
what
find a rest stop with a good Wi-Fi.
should I tell you what's not safe? Driving through Chicago in the middle of rush hour. That's not safe. That's
Oh,
why we're leaving tonight. Okay?
Janine wants to know if you're in an RV. No, he's just in a truck.
I'm
He had
in
to
a
go.
I'm in a Dodge Ram 2500 with a Cummins diesel pulling a 28-foot enclosed trailer. It's a
Yep,
beautiful thing. Inside
because
of
you're.
which is a 1942 Series 62 Cadillac.
Wow.
Sweet rig.
Is this your first Cadillac?
No, it's my son's first.
Oh,
It's my son's car. It's his first Cadillac. My dad had a 95 DeVille, and when he passed away, my mother didn't like it, so we bought it, and it really wasn't that good of a car, to be honest with you.
well, I can't imagine if it's like the right kind of farm car for Big Sandy, Montana.
Oh, yeah. No, we had that, when I was running for the US Senate and, had to get rid of it. People were giving me the middle finger. I don't know what that meant. I guess it meant I was number 1, right?
You're number one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sharon McMahon Wednesday. Let's try this again. Heather Cox Richardson Friday. And we hope you enjoy this episode. You can find us on Substack, Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube. You can shoot us an email at groundedpcast@gmail.com. We're enjoying this community so much. You guys are just so great. It's so fun.
Have a jolly good evening, and I wanna leave you with one thing. Go Mariners.
Oh
Go
yeah,
go
we didn't even
Mariners.
talk about the Mariners. Are they playing
That
tonight?
Yeah, man, they played like dog shit last night, so I don't know if they're gonna be able to beat Toronto. I like Toronto too, by the way. I think Toronto's great. If they were playing anybody but the Mariners, I'd probably be rooting for them. But, gotta root for the Mariners. They've never been in the World Series, and they're, like,
Yeah.
50 years old franchise, so
I'm rooting for them on your behalf. Stacy, we
alright.
love you back. Thank you for saying that. Thanks so much to our guests today, Bryan Andrews, to our friends at Pearl Jam for letting us use their music, and to all of you. We appreciate you so much. We'll chat again soon.
Tally ho.